Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. My name is Dan W. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Today our Marvel Legends reviews continue for this Vulture Build-A-Figure wave for the upcoming Spider-Man Homecoming film. And today, as you can see in front of me, we have Moon Knight, Marvel's Batman, if you will. But I'll get into that in a minute. So let's have a look at the box. As always, Cider on the side, genius name. On the back, we get a read-up, picture of the figure, and as always we get a list of all the figures in this wave we need to complete the Build-A-Figure wings for Vulture. Today we're reviewing Moon Knight. More cider, and there he is at the front, and to be honest I'm looking forward to opening this figure. I'm a fan of the character, and he's got a lot of accessories as well, so let's open him up and see what we got. Pow, and here he is out of packaging, looking very good, but I can't really see him that well on the camera on this white background, and because it's mostly black as well, if I change the background to black it's not going to help that much. So let me do some movie magic and try and get a better look at this guy. Pow, so there you go, blue background because it's a black and white character, so hopefully that should help with the review. So let's get to it. What accessories? Another piece for the Vulture Build-A-Figure wings. Again, I look forward to building this guy. Stay tuned for the review of that. I'm going to do the Vulture and the wings last all together, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe and all that goodness. And he also comes with some extra parts. So we get 2 fists, and then we get this baton that we've seen before with, I think, Hellcat, Mockingbird, Daredevil. So yeah, obviously this changes into 2, and he does have it in the comics, to be fair. He has like a grappling sort of baton, so I prefer the longer one, but that will do. That's what she said. And then we also get these Moonarangs, or whatever they're called. I'm not sure if people are saying that as a joke, but it's a pretty good name for them. As I said, this guy is essentially Marvel's Batman. Lots of similarities. He's a rich guy who's a vigilante. He hides in the shadows, and he uses his wealth to buy gadgets and whatnot to take down criminals. So yeah, lots of similarities Batman, which isn't a bad thing. Everyone loves Batman. But yeah, we get 3 of these tiny little moon things, and then 1 of these big ones. Now, he comes packaged with these hands on, which look like gun holding hands. And you could get him holding some guns, but obviously it's best for holding his boomerang, whatever you want to call it. Sounds very weird. But then, thanks to Mr. Chardon's Prime, when I was watching his review yesterday, I didn't even notice this at all. But apparently there's some little holes on the wrist. Again, I don't know how well you can see that on my camera. I'll try and move them out of the way for a minute. Let me see if I can zoom in. Okay, can you see that? 3 little holes on the wrist, on the knuckles, sorry. And then with these boomerangs, the small boomerangs, you can plug them in so we can have like claws, I guess. So I've got fat thumbs, so I have no doubt this isn't going to work. Yep, as I expected, not going to work for me. But you get the gist. You get what it's meant to do. It's meant to have 3 blades. Oh, one more. This is like Buckaroo. Do you Americans have Buckaroo? Oh, my fingers are so fat. Damn. One last try. Fail. Okay, whatever. You get the point though, people. You get the point. So there he is. So first impressions is I like the figure. I like the character Moon Knight, as I said. Lots of similarities to Batman, which isn't a bad thing. His hood doesn't come off. I'm guessing you could peel it off if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. But the head does pop off, and you can take his cape off. So let's have a quick look at the figure with his cape off. So it's like got armor pieces, and my front armor piece is a little bit loose. I don't know if you can, that picks up on the microphone, but it looks like a new sculpt, quite simple. Again, the back sort of white piece is a bit loose, but it's armor, I suppose, so it can be. I like the wrists, but yeah, very simple, black and white. Very accurate to one of his comic book costumes. Probably not my favourite costume, but a very modern Marvel Now costume, which we've not seen before in figure form. So yeah, Moon Knight. I'm liking him. Let's sort of try and get some details about Moon Knight. Who is he? This is the part of the video where we ask the question, who is he? And I try and give you a little bit of information on the character that this figure is inspired by. So, Moon Knight. Who is he? Well, Moon Knight first appeared in Werewolf by Night 32 way back in August of 1975, before making his own debut in his own ongoing series, Moon Knight, in 1980. Now, skipping over some details, Moon Knight is Marc Spector, a mercenary who died on a mission but was brought back to life by the Egyptian moon god Khonshu, as he wanted him to be his avatar of Earth. Marc returned to New York as Moon Knight to fight crime, but also created some other aliases so he could infiltrate criminal activity. One being Stephen Grant, a rich playboy, another being Jake Lockley, a taxi driver, so he could infiltrate both high-end criminal organisations and the low-end street level too. Marc is a skilled mercenary, an expert detective, and he uses his wealth to build gadgets to help him fight crime, as well as his enhanced abilities via the solar cycle. Moon Knight has had some interesting stories in the past, including ones about personality disorder, losing his wealth and gaining it again, as well as adventures with other Marvel heroes. So there you go, I hope that helped. Again, I do not claim to be an expert, but it is nice to have a little bit of information on the character that these figures are inspired by. Now, I just wanted to show you Moon Knight. I actually did it, people. I got the free Batarang things, Moonarang things, no copyright intended there, into the fist. So now he has like little claws. Can you see? Looks pretty good, to be fair. If you got punch with them, they would hurt, or I'm guessing you can climb on buildings or whatever you want to do. Tempted to take the N2 out, so it looks like he's putting his ones up, but that would be immature and childish, Daniel. So yeah, but anyway, like it. I've seen a lot of people online warn me that the bicep is a bit stiff and it's been popping off. Now, I believe people have been forcing it because this white sort of shoulder piece is sort of hindering articulation on the shoulder. So I can't really move his arms out like that, if you know what I mean. If you want to do that, you're going to have to bend his arms on the double elbow. I don't want to risk breaking this by wanting it to come out. So you're going to have to, yeah, I don't know. That's not a very good articulation. They should have thought about that. That shoulder piece should have been a little bit thinner, or have an indent so you could at least bend the shoulder. And that's with both shoulders as well. So yeah, articulation on the shoulders isn't very good at all. As you can see, I'm trying to move him out and I don't want to break him because I broke my black symbiote Spider-Man doing just that, and I still haven't got a replacement. But other than that, articulation is all the same as the standard Bucky Cat body, I suppose. Double jointed knees, ankle pivot. There's some good articulation on the foot as it goes, all the way around, up and down, and some decent ankle pivot as well. So yeah. Other than that, decent crunch back and forth. Head can move around locks. It's not hindered by the cape. But yeah, there he is. Now Moon Knight needs to go and get his pedicure. Oops, I did it for him. Now, it may get difficult to see, I've removed the blue screen, but here he is compared to some more street level characters in The Punisher and, of course, Ghost Rider. Let me just show off this Ghost Rider chain real quick. It's an articulated chain by Steve Tangi. I apologise if I murdered your name, but he sent it to me via my friend Rolando all the way in America. Much appreciated, my friend. I love that. I've got some flame effects in the post as well, so can't wait to make that Ghost Rider pop on the shelf. And to be fair, Moon Knight does fit in very well with these characters. So let's compare it to some others. Here's Moon Knight compared to the Pizza Spider-Man and also Daredevil. While I've got him here, I just thought I'd mention that Daredevil obviously comes with the same battens, but he actually gets a compartment that you can put them in. I do wish that we got one of these with Moon Knight. Yes, you could get an extra one of these, paint it white, whack it on there, and then he has somewhere to put them. But that is a lot of effort and very expensive for what it is. I'm sure customizers can get a bit more creative than that as well. But it would have been good for Moon Knight to have a couple of maybe pockets or pouches or something to put his extra weapons, like these long nails, when he's not using them. And lastly, here's Moon Knight compared to the only figure in the wave I've reviewed so far, and it's the MCU Tom Holland Homecoming Spider-Man. And yeah, maybe one day we will see Moon Knight in the MCU. Maybe a Netflix series, fingers crossed that will happen because he is best suited for the sort of gritty Netflix vibe. So yeah, fingers crossed we see that. But stay tuned for the rest of the reviews. Obviously subscribe to the channel. My name has been Dan W. I look forward to building the Vulture wings, so obviously keep checking the channel as I will be building those this week. But until then, I'll see you on the next one.